Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Incoming here on the Psychosin project on YouTube even. I keep going to say Talk Metal Radio. And today I'm going to be reviewing the new album, the upcoming new album by Texan band One Eyed Doll, an album called Witches, which is out on the 24th of March and being released through Standby Records. Now, some of you may be wondering, who are One Eyed Doll? Well, as always, let me tell you.
One Eyed Doll are a band from Austin, Texas. They comprise of just two members, Kimberly Freeman on guitars and vocals, and Jason Rufus Saul, also known as Junior, on drums. He is also the producer of the band. They play what they like to call rock and roll. It has a mix of goth in there as well and straightforward metal as well. They're currently signed to Standby Records and will be releasing their newest album, Witches, on March the 24th this year. That is what I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Go check them out on Facebook. They have many music videos as well on YouTube.
The first song on the album is Ember. Now, before we go too much into these songs, I'm going to say that I'm not going to be describing these songs in absolute amazing detail because I've already listened to the entire album, to be totally honest with you, and this is an album that I feel you have to discover more for yourself than sort of someone telling you exactly how the tracks feel. However, I will give you a brief overview of what happens in the tracks. Anyway, the first track, as I said, is called Ember. Now, this starts with a fade in and the sound of a church bell calling to mind the song Black Sabbath from, of course, the band Black Sabbath. There's a scream and a full-on rock riff, and the drumming kicks in as well. Demented sounds from lead singer Kimberly Freeman then give way to impassioned screaming vocals from her. She then starts singing with a very sort of lullaby-style vocal pattern to her singing. Keyboards come in, and that's the overall feel of the song. This is an explosive way to start the album. The second song is called Prayer. Now, this starts with what I believe is a loop being played, and electronic sounds being played by the keyboards, building up to Kimberly's awesome vocals coming in again. The keyboards in background again, adding another layer to the sound and the overall feel of this song. Violins come in as well on the song, really filling the song sound out, adding a great atmosphere, while the song really helps to capitalise and show off Kimberly's superb vocal talent. Sorry, I've kind of forgot how to speak English halfway through that, as tends to happen on these reviews. I don't know what is wrong with me. Up next is Black in the Vine. Now, this starts with a huge riff and some superb drumming. The driving riff and vocals push this song along, where then we reach a very memorable chorus with a theremin being played in the background. Halfway through the song we change to a very heavy riff, which then leads us back to that main riff, backed up by very, very tight drumming by Junior. The use of the backing theremin adds a very cool ethereal element to this song. Up next is A Rope for Mary. Now, this starts with a kind of southern blues style melody being played, topped off with Kimberly's vocals. There's a slow drum beat that comes in with occasional guitar being played over the top. We speed up after a minute and go into a mid-paced, chuggy style riff, which then takes us back to the bluesy sounding riff from before. Around 3 minutes we have an almost doom style riff coming with Kimberly's impassioned vocals over the top and more instruments coming in, adding to the overall gloomy atmosphere of the song. The song then ends with a fade out. Up next is the song More Weight, which is exactly what I am trying not to gain any myself. Anyway, this starts with the sound of frogs, then a stop-start riff and drumming comes in until we reach the main riff, with background chants of more weight, more weight. The vocals then come in supported by a superb driving riff. A solo drum roll in the middle of the song takes us into another awesome riff that builds the intensity. Then the vocals come back in. This continues until we reach the end of the song. Up next is Remember, which starts with a banjo being played. Now, I could be wrong on that. It might well not be a banjo, but it sounded like one to me, which is joined by violins and an acoustic guitar. This great little interlude between songs are adding to the whole feel and concept of the album, and helping to set the scene for the coming songs, as well as showing the diverse talents of both Junior and Kimberly. Next up is Witch Hunt, which is not a cover of the song by Jack Off Jill, as some of you may have possibly been hoping, or I might be the only one who remembered that Jack Off Jill did a song called Witch Hunt. But anyway, this starts with a huge guitar chord and drums crashing. Then we're into a slow riff with Kimberly singing over the top and the words Witch Hunt being shouted in the background. The song then breaks down and the drums build the song up to a faster riff and drum beat. Not a faster reef, because this has nothing to do with fish. Then those backing vocals come back. Then we have a scream and we're back to the main lumbering heavy riff with Kimberly's almost fragile doll-like vocals over the top, which takes us to the end of the song. Next is Stillness. Now this starts with a banjo playing a melody and drums playing a slow, again almost doom metal paced drum beat. Keyboards join in, adding to the overall atmosphere. Then Kimberly's vocals come in, accompanied by violin. Sorry. Anyway, sorry about that. Another song with a very mournful feel to it. A huge guitar called Then Rings, and we're into another superb riff, topped by those awesome vocals from Kimberly. A drum beat built us up to another run through of the chorus to take us to the end of this incredible song. If they decide to play this live, this will definitely be a high centre point of their set. Up next is Afflicted, which is something I personally am by a slight baldness, as you can see when I say slight. Anyway, this starts with an almost techno-sounding keyboard joined by vocals and a superb driving drum beat from Junior. The guitars then come crashing in for the chorus, and we go into a brilliant mid-paced riff and drum beat driven along by the keyboard melody. A keyboard solo comes in echoing Kimberly's vocals halfway through the song. We then break down to a stop-start guitar riff and drumming, which is backed up by an ongoing keyboard melody. The vocals then come back in. The stop-start riff and drums play again and lead us to the end of the song, accompanied by violin. It's going to be a very short review of this song because the song is in fact only 51 seconds long. This is Sorrow. This starts with an acoustic guitar and keyboard fading in, then Kimberly's vocals ever so gently singing over the top, which leads us into the next track. The last track on the album is called Ghosts of Gallows Hill. Now this starts with a big rock style chord being played, and then a driving drum beat and guitar melody gets played slowly after this. This then goes into Kimberly's vocals and a superb driving riff and drum beat backed up by a keyboard melody, which slows down into the chorus, and a beautiful keyboard melody takes the lead of the song until we go back into that verse riff. We then fade out with the final riff and drums playing. You'd think with me having some of this written down it'd make it easier for me to speak English. Apparently not. Anyway, a keyboard fades in, backed by a faint church bell, bringing to mind Pink Floyd, or maybe that's just me. Anyway, the keyboard then fades out, which takes us to the end of this superb album. So, after all that, what did I think of the album in total? Honestly, it's a really, really good album. I think we have just found the first definite album of the year of 2015. I don't know if it's their first kind of, concept album. I believe it might be, obviously being based on the witch trials that happened over there in Texas, or wherever it was. My American history is crap, to be totally honest with you. But anyway, honestly, they've tried some new things and it's worked out well for them. They're showing their entire sort of facets to their talents, any new talents they've gained as well over the years, from years and years of touring and making albums as well. Kimberly has always comes across as a fantastic guitar player and vocalist, with Junior showing what a fantastic drummer he is as well, always there, and also producing this album to absolute perfection. Hopefully this will be the album that takes them to another level and gets them onto tours into other countries, including here in the UK. So hopefully, yeah, definitely go check this band out. Check this album out where it's released on the 24th of March, as well on Standby Records as well. I have been Psychosin. This has been Incoming. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.